hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah.
All right, big day on the morning show today. A lot going on. It's Crypto Friday, so we got a lot of crypto charts for you. Louis Sykes will be on in a few minutes. We'll have Mike Zaccardi. He's a CMT and a CFA. He'll be on at 9. We got a lot going on. We're in a fast market, so let's roll.
A fast market, JC. Did you hear that?
I don't really know what that means. Do you you guys want to hear a fun fact? Fun fact, right? Ready? Morning fun fact. This is a good one. Good one.
All right.
Jingle Bells, not a Christmas song.
I learned this yesterday.
Jingle Bells, Thanksgiving song, written by, ready? JP Morgan's uncle.
Do you guys both follow the same TikTok account?
No. That second part I didn't know.
JP Morgan's uncle wrote Jingle Bells. It was actually a drinking song. And if you read the lyrics for the whole song, it's like funny. He's like on a sleigh and he's with a girl and then he falls off the sleigh and then another sleigh comes in and leaves him there. It's a drinking song. Who knew?
The more you know.
JP Morgan's uncle.
So why is it confused for a Christmas song? Is it just because we don't have Thanksgiving songs?
No,
So
I think something like in the late 1800s, there was some Christmas special or something, and they included it and something like that.
all right.
It actually has nothing to do with Christmas. There's nothing about the song that has anything to do with Christmas. Isn't that funny?
Christmas is slowly swallowing, or Christmas season is slowly swallowing Thanksgiving season.
Which is bullshit. It's such bullshit.
It's happening.
Thanksgiving is the best holiday of the year.
Has it ever not been that way though?
Dude, my radio
It's
stations
always all about Christmas before.
Dude, this Mariah Carey shit already.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. We have Louis. We have Louis coming on in 10 minutes, and we have Mike Zaccardi right after that. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Do we have charts? We have charts. We have stuff.
Fast market. All right, I think we should start out with slide 2 here. Because they will look at you in the eye and they will tell you with a straight face that we have been in a bear market.
Yeah, I keep seeing that.
Are they looking at their charts upside down, you think maybe?
But in all seriousness, though, can we explain? I like playing devil's advocate. Can we explain why somebody would say that? Like, what is that argument?
Okay, chart 19 is that argument.
Maybe because they're ignoring the actual stock market and they're focused on the fairy tales that are being told by economists and television journalists and whatnot.
I want that argument.
Chart 19. I actually came prepared for this one.
There you go.
So JC's showing the large cap sectors. I went back and I'm showing you the small cap sectors from the same date. It's not that there haven't been some, great performers there. Look at industrials, look at discretionary, look at tech, and it's the stuff you want leading, but it's not as convincing that we're in a bull market when you look at the small cap groups. 4%, lousy bull market.
Maybe it's not one of the best bull markets of all time. Does it have to be the best bull market of all time for it to be a bull market?
I think that's a better way to put it, right? Like just to acknowledge that it's been a very thin bull market and that the performance has been very different between the biggest and best stocks and the smallest and weakest stocks.
Best first 6 months in the history of the NASDAQ. Why don't we look at the new slide 3, Spencer? See what I did there? New slide 3. And here what we're looking at is we're looking at the equally weighted sectors, right? Because you have these yahoos that are telling me that it's only 7 stocks. I'm looking at equally weighted technology up 34%. Equally weighted industrials up 26%. Equally weighted discretionaries up 20%. When you look historically and study every bull market in history, and I've had some time on my hands over the years, I have done so. I encourage everybody to do the same. You know what you're going to find? That early in bull markets, The leading sectors tend to be, ready, drum roll please, technology, industrials, and consumer discretionary. So what you're telling me is that this cycle is just like all of those? Is that what you're telling me?
I think this is the better point to make too, right? It's not just 7 stocks. And this chart proves that.
It
So this
never,
is equal.
it never was. It
I
never
know.
was. What kind of serial killer thinks that way?
So anyway, just to be clear, this is equally weighted large caps. So it's a large cap story for now.
You mean the most important stocks, right?
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Isn't Apple larger than the entire Russell 2000 combined?
Has it been a bull market for small caps? Question for you.
First of all, bull markets are a characterization of the environment. So it's not like, oh, it's a bull market for these guys, but it's not a bull market for those guys. It's a bull market. The fact that some of the small caps haven't been performing, whose problem is that? It's not my problem.
Individual stocks can be in bull markets. Has it been a bull market?
Individual stocks cannot be in bull markets. A bull market is a function of the environment. You can't say, oh, Apple's in a bull market, but Palantir is not. Like that.
So you refuse to answer the question.
What's the question?
Has it been a bull market for small caps?
It has been a bull market, and not all small caps are participating.
That was like a half answer.
No, it wasn't a half answer. It's a stupid fucking question. Are small caps? Are small caps in a bull market? That doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, how many strikeouts did the Dolphins have yesterday? The Dolphins play football. Like, what are you talking about?
All right, fine.
Can I give the argument for 7 stocks briefly, or do we not
really?
care?
You're going to look at this equally weighted sector.
I dare you, Spencer.
No. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, but I do like playing devil's advocate. It's fun.
Please do. Please.
All right, here we go.
Knock yourself out, right?
You can look at the performance of the indexes, and then you can separate out the performance of those 7, and they've dominated. Okay, so
you're talking about attribution.
I'm just looking at straight up like total return this year, right? They've crushed the index. It's the broader indexes. That's one. People, you would also say, fundamentals drive price, right? Right. That's
I would agree with that one.
Right. So the Magnificent Seven, their earnings growth in those 7 companies is, I think it's like, if you look at all the earnings growth in the S&P 500, those 7 companies amount for like, I don't know, like 30 or 40% of the earnings growth of the whole index. They're growing at such a larger rate, faster rate than everyone else. And as you see every week at this point, the weightings of those 7 are larger than the weightings of the top 7 at any other point in history, right? They're just getting bigger, faster
in America,
right? And their earnings are also a larger contribution than that.
Earnings are a far larger contribution now than at any other point in history in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the argument right there, more or less, in a nutshell.
Is that an argument? Is it a good argument, or is it an argument like for a bullish argument or a bearish argument?
He's not saying anything that's not true.
No, I know, but is that no? I'm not saying it's not true. All that sounds right. If I'll defer to you if you say so. I don't pay attention to that sort of thing, but I'm sure you do. So now tell me, do you think that is a bullish thing or a bearish thing?
I think the subtext of this is that is bearish. That's the subtext.
What does that mean, subtext?
Meaning the implication is that this is only 7 stocks, and if once they stop going up, we're all screwed. That's the implication. That's right.
That's what they told us a year ago, right?
Yeah. Listen, there was a note from a technician floating around yesterday that kind of echoed that same sentiment. The large caps roll, look out.
Right.
People are saying it. Yeah.
As opposed to all those other environments where when the large caps roll, don't look out.
Listen, we're just saying what people are saying. And Spencer, I think.
Wait, but how is it any different now? Like, large caps. If large caps roll,
because they're bigger,
are gonna fall.
Because they're bigger. They're bigger than they were, and ever have been. That's why.
In America,
that's what we're talking. Okay.
In every other country, pretty much, like it's
Strazza,
way more egregious. Like,
what were you about to say?
The United States is too diversified, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Strazza, what were you about to say?
I hear you, and I like these stats, right? In terms of another way to look at this is some people they'll look at, okay, energy contributes 5% in S&P 500 earnings, but only makes up 3% of the index. I like to look at these numbers.
Here's
I think
a good
you're
one.
right.
Hominder says, ever since oil stopped moving up, I feel like the morning show hasn't talked about it. Yeah, that's right. For good reason. What's there to talk about?
Yeah, you want to go shorting oil here?
Yeah, exactly. Right. If it was something else, we'd be talking about shorting it. But I like sleeping at night, so shorting oil is just not in my to-do list.
Hold on.
No matter how bad it looks.
There was a great question in the chat. JC, I think you should take this one. Is Doge literally going to the moon in a rocket? Is this real? I think
that's the top.
I don't know. I think it might be. Things are looking up for
Spencer
crypto.
Israel. How do you feel about the old Doge sitting right here at a cool $12 billion in market capitalization?
Hey, do you have TradingView up? Either of you guys? Alfonso's telling me that when you punch Doge into the TV, that a dog pops up on the screen. Doesn't happen for me.
Hold on.
I don't have
You punch up the Doge?
Yeah, and he said a dog, like they got a dog dancing.
They got a dog dancing?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
Okay.
No,
I don't see it. Is he messing with us?
I also don't see it.
That would be pretty cool.
Chart Ninja's trolling us from the back room.
I saw Pierce the other day, actually. Speaking of TradingView.
Nice.
Anyway.
I wish that there was a dancing dog on my charts.
Fonzie's looking at too many charts. He's hallucinating now.
I think you're hallucinating. Yeah.
GRV says
brother.
GRV said he had it 6 months ago. Anyway, 6 months ago? The dancing thing. Should we go to Crypto Friday? Should we talk crypto?
I'm so ready.
Please.
You're so ready?
I'm so ready. Let's go.
Is it fast market too, or is it just stocks?
So I've got two bumpers. So first I'll play the Crypto Friday thing, and then we have a bumper for Louis now. So I'll do that right after.
Oh, yeah. Right. Is this the
world
premiere? The debut of the Louis bumper.
That's right.
Louis.
Louis.
Love the bumper, guys.
A little short. It's a little short. Not
a little
short.
short.
Shots.
Yeah, they could do
more
better.
Louis.
They're gonna do better. Yeah.
Well, we'll upgrade it in the next iteration.
Yeah, in January when we're all together, we'll get you. We're gonna be in Midtown. I don't want to spend too much time down there. We'll take Louis downtown, and we'll have.
I'm coming to New York now.
You're coming to New York in January. We decided.
Let's go.
I know. Louis stoked.
This is how he delivers news.
Yeah, this is how I deliver news. You should.
How are you guys?
We're gonna have a hair.
We're talking about the Doge
between you and Sean. Hair competition.
I think Louis winning at this point.
Louis definitely winning. Definitely. Doge, 12 billion. Is that too much market cap for people to handle? Seems that way.
Yeah. So
I mean, look, this thing is breaking out. I mean, it's cooled off a little bit this morning.
Go up slide 15 there for the Doge.
They're up slide 15.
So Dogecoin, the 9th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. Wow.
Ain't that some shit? Didn't see that coming. You know, like when Elon was on Saturday Night Live, like we all knew that that was, you know, we were close to the top, obviously, right? But if you would have told me that 2 years later or whatever, we'd be talking about Doge still at 12 billion, still one of the top cryptocurrencies, I wouldn't have thought that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's done okay. Hey, I got one from a market cap perspective. How the hell is Ripple 33 billion, which makes it, I don't know, 8 billion larger than Solana? Yeah, that's Solana's 24. How's Ripple?
No, but Ripple's been big for a while. Ripple's held its market cap.
I mean, it's really got a community of crazies that it's almost like the gold bugs, right? That are just they have so much conviction. They're just going to hold this thing in perpetuity.
Is that not the case with every one of these? There's a community of people with a ton of conviction.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like the Ripple community is a lot more extreme than than say the
But
Solana community.
how is it any different than shareholders in Berkshire Hathaway?
Because Berkshire Hathaway is real.
And
Exactly.
what is this fake? Do investors have to give their money back?
This is an internet dog coin. We were just talking about why we don't have a
But what's
dancing
fake
dog
about
when we
it?
pull this
What's
chart
fake
up.
about it?
But no, seriously, Louis, isn't there like no practical application for this token?
It's a Bitcoin fork. It's a BTC fork.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it is a BTC fork. And
all right.
it is actually quite cheap to transact on. And so there is some utility, whether that justifies the valuation that it has at the moment. Not
And
my area of expertise.
Yeah, Rachel, Berkshire has earnings. Amazon doesn't. So what is
Yeah,
this?
they do.
Amazon fake?
They do now. They have a lot.
Okay, they have earnings by accident. That's not their.
All right, Shiba Inu, is that a real one?
Yeah.
Is that a fork also?
Shiba Inu is a fork, right, Louis? It's a fork.
Yeah, I believe so.
$6 billion in market capitalization. How you doing?
And another one that stands out, I just want to know what Louis thinks about it. Like, JC, we discussed it quickly the other day. Good for you, Binance. Right? Just really
Binance
weathered the
hanging in.
storm.
Throw the Binance up. Surprising that thing never fell apart. It's one of those kind of like massive tops that never completed, right?
Did this guy disappear and stop picking fights on Twitter?
I don't think there's anybody left to pick a fight with. Right?
Exactly.
Can we throw up the
And
Binance?
so
Spencer.
I don't think we have a Binance chart in the deck that I provided. So should we move to the Bitcoin chart? Let's talk
Please.
top down.
Throw up the
macro.
Bitcoin chart. I'm going to throw up the Binance.
Talk to us about some charts. So Louis just put together a like 100-page crypto report, went after it. Why don't
Drop
you
the link for that, Spencer. Drop the link in case anybody wants to read that. I highly encourage you to read it.
I mean, just great report. How long was it, Louis? Ton of charts. He's going to go through some
Too
of them
long.
now. Talk
If,
about
if you say that you want a crypto report, I'm going to give you a crypto report that's ends up being far too long. There's too many charts to look at. So
Yeah,
in this
JC
case, we've got Bitcoin. Obviously, the case here has been above 30K. It's a new bull market. If you are not long crypto in one form or another with Bitcoin above 30K, as JC would say, you're either being irresponsible or you're short. It's really that simple. 30K is the big level. Now that we've reclaimed that, the trend is higher. It's as simple as that.
First time the weekly's been overbought since what? Early 21?
Yeah.
So it is we've seen a monster move. If you want to move to the next chart, look at a more short-term tactical level. If you want to look at the Fibonacci extensions, we're running against the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of this entire bear market. Whether this is a level we see some consolidation and churning is yet to be seen, but there are a lot of altcoins that are pressing up against levels of overhead supply. So what I'm looking out for over the next few weeks is if we do get that mean reversion, I want to see the altcoins that are showing relative strength. Because if we do get some mean reversion, the coins that show relative strength in these next few weeks are going to be the next leaders in the next leg higher.
Yep. Okay. And we'll be running scans, looking for that strength, right?
Somebody has to. Louis, what's something down the cap scale that people aren't focused on?
Yeah.
Give us something junky.
Am I the only one?
Where the Doge isn't junky enough.
Am I the only one looking at the
let's-
avalanche out here?
You're not the only one looking at the avalanche. Why don't
Hey,
you
well,
throw it up?
we do have an avalanche chart if you want to put that up.
AVAX. Boom. A lot of arrows.
So again, this is another one of those charts that are at overhead supply. And so these are just a variety of support and resistance levels here. Again, this would be a logical place to see a little bit of consolidation. And you see a lot of charts like this. We've had a mega run. Solana is a great example. Solana against that 50, 60 level, which is the next chart if we want to have a look at that.
Throw the Solana.
And so monster move. This thing has been an absolute beast. This would be a logical level to see some consolidation. And let's not forget that if we do see some consolidation, if we do see some brief failed moves, because Solana, in the case of Solana, we're broken above this level of resistance. If we fall back below, I don't necessarily think that's too bearish, right? These things have been, the Solana's up has tripled, right, over the last month.
Yeah.
And so these things deserve a little bit of digestion and consolidation.
Let these things take a breather, right? Solana, I was looking at the daily chart last night. If you were to zoom in and show the RSI 14, it was in overbought territory, never left overbought territory for almost a month.
Mhm.
Almost a month. Right? Just now dipping out of overbought territory for the first time since like this time last month. So these things have been so resilient the way they've been correcting.
Mhm.
Can
And then I want to go down.
Can we talk about the DYDX?
Yeah, sure. So
They have a Dixie crypto. It's a dollar index.
exactly. So if you guys don't know the calculus reference here, DYDX is obviously the mathematical notation of a derivative.
Explain that to me.
So,
I slept through algebra.
Obviously.
What?
so
Explain to me.
DYDX is a mathematical notation that they use to signify a derivative of an algebraic equation.
Who's
And
they?
so it's I
Math
mean,
people.
mathematicians a long time ago, right? And
Okay, I'm
so
asking. Okay, got it. So like old school mathematicians use this formula DYDX.
and so
And
it's a
somewhere
mathematical
along the way
notation.
I
And so
studied that, right?
and so it's called DYDX because it's a derivatives exchange. And so you can trade derivatives on this exchange. So that's why it's called DYDX. But if we want to stop being such nerds and have a look at the price chart above 370, this
That was
thing
Isaac
is looking
Newton?
quite nice.
That was
People are
Isaac Newton?
trading crypto derivatives.
Well, not
On
yet.
People are
No.
trading crypto derivatives.
No,
That's
people
where
definitely
the majority
are,
of the trading takes place.
Yeah,
Don't do
we
that.
will. We're not
do
trading. We're not putting on put spreads or anything like that, but we will.
I'm
Not on the
specifically
DYDX.
talking about I'm specifically talking about like perpetual futures. That's where you get most of the trading activity.
By the way, the Bitcoin futures open interest highest ever.
Why would anybody trade on this platform instead of one of the options exchanges?
I'm not too sure. I mean, it isn't a platform that I haven't used, and so there might be some additional offerings that they have on this platform that they don't have on others.
Louis,
But it's not.
do you think we see this crazy like staking and yield farming bull market return?
I mean, I think if you're going to
What is
get
a
that junky
staking bull
rotation
market?
down the cap scale, I feel
What
like
does that mean?
I feel like it's an integral part of crypto, right? So if we are going to get a bull market, it would be weird to not see that behavior.
With the same kind of crazy sky high rates, though? Things got a little out of hand.
4%.
Things can get crazy in these markets, and so we've seen it before, and these things have happened multiple cycles, and so it would be unusual if we didn't get that.
Yeah, for sure. What else stands out? You want to show some of the internals? Let's check out some of the internals.
Yeah, sure. Let's look at some of the internals. If you want to go to slide 4, and the deck that I provided, have a look at the crypto index.
It's slide 8 for us now, Spencer.
And so this is our equally weighted crypto index. So this is a really good gauge as to what's happening down the cap scale, because if you have a look at most indexes, if you look at say market cap, for instance, that's market cap weighted. Because the market cap is so top heavy in crypto, we like to equally weight it to get a better gauge of what's happening underneath the surface.
How many
So
are
this is approximately all the coins above $1 billion in market cap. So it is a relatively accurate gauge as to what's happening. And so we've had, we deviated below that support level, and we've just been on an absolute tier high. We all know this. Crypto's been absolutely ripping for a while now. But again, it's approaching the top level of its range. And when we look at each chart, individual chart by chart, a lot of coins are pressing up against overhead supply after this monster run. So if we do see some mean reversion, if we do see some consolidation and digestion, that's totally normal. And again, what I'd be looking out for in that scenario is the coins that are bucking that mean reversion, the coins that are showing relative strength over the next few weeks, and those are likely going to be your next leaders on a further leg higher.
I think that's good.
How about those new highs, huh? Overbought conditions, percentage above the 200-day moving average. What was it? 100% of the coins were above the 200-day moving average a few days ago.
Not quite 100%. It has been 100% over the 50-day moving average. It's about 93, 94% above the
Ooh,
200-day moving
still room
average.
for us. Still got room.
Exactly, still got room. And so that's actually the highest reading that we've had going back 3 or 4 years. And so
Last chart, the injective protocol, INJ. Can we talk about that? So this is how big is injective? It is 1.3 billion. Man, is this the strongest cryptocurrency on the planet?
it certainly is one of them. I mean, look at this. This thing has been on an absolute tear higher again.
I know, but how
To my
many
point-
cryptocurrencies can you name me right now that are making new all-time highs? You can't name one, right?
I mean, if you want to go really junky, you got Rollbit, which is
How small?
really down the cap scale. But in terms of substantial market cap protocols and projects, there certainly aren't many. And again,
This is the
certainly
only, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the only cryptocurrency above $1 billion in market cap that's making new all-time highs. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
I got
Kind of a big deal. Isn't that like does nobody care? Nobody cares? I'm the only one?
Hold on. Look at it relative to Bitcoin. Wow.
I mean,
Injective?
again, to my point, we are at another level of resistance here. This almost reminds me of Ellie Lilly, the short that we put on the other day, where this thing has been an absolute relative leader, but we're betting on mean reversion.
No,
In the case-
man, no. Eli Lilly's had such a crazy run, and we're
This is
playing
are you kidding me? This is a crazy run. We've gone from $2. We've gone from $1 to $20.
Oh my god, it's all the way to 1.3 billion. Oh my god, that's like
Crypto.
10% of the Dogecoin.
That's a pharma stock. $600 billion stock.
600 exactly. Thank you, Strazza. Louis, I love you, but you're so wrong on this. I like, rather than fading this, I like buying a breakout above 20.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying, short this in any means. I'm just saying that, again, this is another one of those charts that are at a level where it would be logical to see a little bit of consolidation and churn.
And we've
Put
seen
up
it,
the relative trend quick.
right?
Look at
Louis,
this
we've seen some
monster.
consolidation.
Throw up Inge BTC.
Inge BTC. Are you inging right now with your
Inge. Reminds me of that stock that keeps popping up on the hot corner. Impinge.
Impinge? Yeah.
Impinge. We're not. There it is. Thank you.
There it is. There it is. Even
mean-
relative to BTC. I mean, relative strength, absolute strength. How do you feel about that?
This thing has been a leader for a while now. There's, certainly not many charts that look as good as this one.
Yeah. I like a breakout, buy a breakout above 20, 50% of upside. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing wrong with that at all. All right. Any final words of wisdom, Lou Dog?
Just have a good weekend, YOLO responsibly, as I always say. And
How many more sheep are there in New Zealand than humans?
it's funny people say that. People say that, we are such a sheep-oriented country because there's more sheep in New Zealand than there is people. But I feel like that's quite a common it's in Australia. Australia has more sheep than people over there. And so I think that's actually quite a common thing to have.
There's 26 million sheep in New Zealand. How many humans?
5 million. We crossed
Wow.
the big 5 million the other day.
Oh, you got 5x the amount of sheep than humans in New Zealand? That's wild. That's wild.
That is.
New Zealand Pinot Noir from the South Island. Get involved, guys. Get involved. It's delicious. New
Hey, I've
Zealand
been
makes
saying to the
juice.
team for years now that they need to come over for a road trip, for a field trip. It would probably be a lot more play than work, but it's still something we need to
I
do.
want to go skiing, man. I want to go skiing down there.
I want to go golfing, man.
I want to
You
visit
go
the
golf, I'll
Shire.
go ski. You could do it on the same day in New Zealand, actually, which is pretty cool.
JC can ski, Steve can golf. I'll visit the Shire. It'll all be good. We'll have a great time.
Sounds great.
Thanks a lot, Louis.
See you, Lou.
All right, guys. If you want Louis' report that he just put out, I did drop it in the chat. I'll do it again though. It's a free report. Bitcoin
It's excellent, and it's packed with long ideas. And I think we're nice and early on this. We got these big reversal patterns in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we're just kind of getting ready to buy some of these breakouts. So,
yep, there it is, right there.
Also, we'll do Coinbase later. There were some questions in the chat. We're going to talk about Coinbase later.
Okay. All right, should we bring on Mike Zaccardi? I think we should. Mike, you ready? Yeah, he's ready.
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Hey now, Mr. Zaccardi, what is happening?
Hey, JC. Not too much. How's everyone?
Do you look at more weather charts or stock charts, you think?
It depends the time of year. You know, we get to holiday week. It's a lot more weather charts. Things quiet down out there.
Yeah,
Well, the weather is important for Thanksgiving. People need to know because they're traveling.
That's right. And
Yeah.
you know, I love my natural gas charts.
Well, why don't we start there? Is this thing ever going to get going? You know, we had a nice move and then, you know, just nothing burger.
Yeah. So I look at the January contract. You know, that's the big winter month. And that thing is pretty much printing the lowest levels since like Q3 of 21. So yeah, not looking good. You know, we'll get volatility here and there. So there's definitely
in natural gas volatility. I can't believe it.
Yeah, November is the time for that to happen. But yeah, I mean, broader trend is certainly moving down and to the right. So yeah, they like to say winter is over when gas is $3 this time of year, but we'll see what happens.
You know what I like about natural gas as a diversifier, long or short, it's the lack of correlation with equities. You know, I've always appreciated that, you know.
Yeah, I think individual investors got to be careful though. When you own that UNG product, it has the contango quite often, so you can get the negative roll yield effect going on, and that can really ding you. So I like to think of it more as like. Do you want
to explain?
Yeah, are you saying that investors don't read the prospectus?
Yeah,
do you want to explain? Is that what you're saying?
Why don't you explain contango quickly?
Yeah, so with any kind of futures product, you have a term structure, which means near term months, outer term months. So with an ETF, when something like natural gas is priced out going out several years and the near term price is low relative to the high price, that's contango. The opposite is backwardation, where we have a lot of near term demand putting upward pressure on price, and then out years we have lower prices. So with the ETF, has to buy and sell each month. So they buy into new contracts, sell off the old ones. So in periods of contango, basically ends up buying high, selling low. Now, when we get into backwardation, that can work to the ETF holder's benefit. So that's just something it doesn't really matter if you're trading UNG day to day, but if you want to hold this thing for weeks or longer, it's definitely a risk to consider.
But just overlay the futures and the ETF, and you're going to see massive.
Yeah.
Well, the default nature is contango. That's the default. That's normal.
And how is it? Explain how this is different. Can you explain, Mike, how this is different than say like a GLD, for example, which tends to trade with the futures much tighter? Why is that?
Yeah. So any kind of commodity is kind of unique in how the term structure goes. Natural gas is quite often in that bearish contango pattern. GLD is pretty similar out the curve. Interest rates can definitely affect it, but with something like gold, there's not a lot of seasonal factors that influence it. Natural gas, you definitely have more demand, higher prices in the winter time, so that can drive near term term structure changes. One thing though, in like the oil markets that's different is oil is quite often in bearish contango, but gasoline futures are usually pretty flat. If not, they're in backwardation more often. So if you compare a performance chart of, say, like USO versus UGA, UGA is by far the longer term winner because gasoline futures don't have that bearish contango term structure as much as oil does. So for investors who want to get oil exposure for like months long basis, I would look more at gasoline versus crude oil to mitigate that. But now they do have some new products that are more active in mitigating the roll risk. So you can count on Wall Street to get new products.
Yeah,
for
but the
everything.
UGA doesn't trade. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's definitely not as liquid, but
It's not.
the
It trades
performance is there.
30,000 shares. It's got $60 million or something like that, right?
Yeah,
It's nothing.
but
You can't touch it.
been around forever though, so it's got that going for it.
As information, but it's 60 million in assets. You can't touch it.
Yeah, that's true. True.
You know what I mean? You can't have any kind of position in there. All right. What about the sorry to throw you right into the commodities market, but that was good. I like that. What about equities? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so we really pulled forward a lot of this seasonal demand or seasonal strength. And now you get everyone coming on TV talking about the Santa Claus rally, and they don't really know what they're talking about with that.
Are you saying that people on TV don't know what they're talking about? I can't believe it.
I know it's frustrating, but we do normally see in these pre-election years strength in November over the back 2 weeks of the month. So we've probably pulled forward a good bit of that. Going into next week, though, Thanksgiving week.
Pulled forward a little bit of that rather than maybe being a little too extended to the downside?
Yeah, I mean, every season's different. We were definitely super oversold going into November, and just the calendar flip, it happened to time with the reversal in stock prices. Thanksgiving week, though, is typically pretty darn bullish. So we'll see if that plays out. But, in general, we're getting some pretty good participation this month among small caps and tech, even like non-US stuff. So, really nice breadth. We've had a couple of those nice big breadths through us lately too, which definitely help things out. And, you look at the price action intraday, I think, was it something like 11 of the last 13 days, we've closed above the open. So, there's strong intraday buying.
Is that historically evidence of distribution or accumulation?
Well, I mean, to me, that's a bullish sign. It's got to be accumulation of people who are buying that stuff intraday.
Right.
So that's looking good as we get to year end here. And, something I found fascinating over the last few years is we get right at the turn of a new year, we get these total shifts in markets. Like, we went into 21, into 22, and suddenly the lights switched off on tech. And then value was doing relatively well in 22 versus growth. That flipped on a dime once January hit. So, active investors, I think, should take the year-end time to kind of rethink like what the market is telling us going into the next year, and to see what, cross currents may be shifting into the new year.
Mike, I want to ask you about some things I saw on your Twitter this morning. You're looking at fund flows, record, or not record, but second largest equity fund inflows of the year just last week, and also first outflows of fixed income funds since February or something like that. Is that just end of the year window dressing to you?
I think you got to look at trends on those sort of things, but in general, with rates coming off a bit here, and the reality that the futures market is pricing in rate cuts next year in terms of like money market yields, people are going to feel a pressure to do something with that, whether it's poured into longer duration fixed income stuff or to get back into stocks. There's definitely going to be some moving and shaking going on with it. So it'll be really interesting over the next few months to see how, in particular, money market assets go. Like just last week, though, we had a massive inflow into money markets again.
Yeah.
What could be kind of weird is money market yields are still going to be really high through like Q1 next year, while like T-bill and short dated treasury yields are relatively lower. And that's something we haven't seen in the last couple of years, because like the 6-month T-bill yield has been above the money market rate for the last couple of years. So how investors handle that will be interesting, because you'll see 5.4 on a money market yield, and then suddenly maybe 4.8 on a 6-month T-bill. So that could cause actually more money to go into money markets in the next few months, and then it could be like this freak out moment toward the middle of next year when they realize that yield is going to be coming down.
When you talk about sector rotation being the lifeblood of a bull market, what you just said, how coming into the year, a lot of things shifted, right? In the back half of last year, the new 52-week lows list peaked in June of last year, and you had a lot of strength in industrials and home builders and discretionary, pretty much everything but tech, and mega cap growth. And then coming into the year, you had that flip like the first week of January, and you got that ripper in the first 6 months in sort of growth. Like that's the kind of sector rotation that we've seen in the past historically in bull markets. So if we reverse engineer that this is still a bull market, let's just say, you're gonna see rotation just mathematically, right? How are you thinking through that here in mid-November, going into the end of the year? Can you talk a little bit about your time horizon? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So, I mean, year end, the performance chase is front and center. I mean, everyone's kind of talking about this now. So, you would expect the winners to do really well. The Qs to lead to year end, and then as we get towards the typical Santa Claus rally period, then you got to start thinking like what sectors might come out of the revive themselves in the next year. And that's where you could see stuff like regional banks and like the XRT, like retail equal weight ETF, do much better. Biotech as well. So it's just a matter of like the timing of how this is going to work, because it is, you flip on TV right now and everyone's talking about the performance chase and momentum working. Maybe we get some very late tax loss selling among retail investors. But taking a look at the stuff that should do well in an interest rate environment where we have a steepening yield curve, you might take a look at some of those regional banks. Insurance stocks just keep working in general. So that's going to be that could be maybe a lower beta play within financials. But on the small caps as well. We saw the major face ripper earlier this week. That could set the stage for a buy the dip mentality among small caps, which could definitely help things out next year as well.
How very topical your mention of retail XRT. We had the Gap this morning. We had Raw Stores this morning. Actually, it was kind of retail earnings week. I think the Gap is, even though XRT is equal weighted, I think the Gap is still like the second or third largest weighting in that fund, and it's up 20% this morning. So. Hey.
Yeah, you get some crazy stuff with those retail stocks on earnings season. So, this week and next week are the key earnings weeks for retail. We've got like Dick's next week and a couple other players as well. So far those results have been mixed. But like with Gap, with Target, these things that have gotten beaten down, any kind of inkling at some good news there just causes buyers to really.
It's all expectations. Walmart's expectations were up here. They came in a little bit about here. Stock gets hit. Gap's expectations were here. They came in just up here, right? So
I like where your head is at. Thinking about retailers, thinking about biotechnologies, thinking about regional banks. I think your head's in the right place, Mike. I like what you're thinking here. I'm thinking the same thing.
I think you got to take a look at a lot of those equal weighted ETFs going in.
I like how you keep bringing up these equally weighted XBI. I see you, dog. I see you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we all love our mega caps and our, even the lilies out there that have been powering things higher this year. But you get these turn of the year events, and it seems like too easy sometimes. But that can just be a trend, a tone change among active investors. So. I mean, you got to at least keep these things on your radar.
100%. You talked about the end of the year, some of the transitions into the new year. Every year we see them, I call it whipsaw hunting season. I look for trends that are very extended, that extend into that low volume time of the year. And then once the big boys are back, you get the ripper in the other direction. Like we've seen it in bonds over the years. We've seen it in gold over the years. We saw it in tech this year, for example. Like there's always something. So I that's a time to be focused on some really extended trends, looking for reversals that late December, for sure. A little early, but heads up, something to think about 6 weeks from now, right?
Yep.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Mike Zaccardi, great follow on Twitter. He's featured quite frequently in the chart report. You should
Come to
follow
New
him.
York.
The link
Get
to
some
his
drinks,
Twitter is
you know,
in
do
the
a little dinner.
description.
Yeah, come to New York.
Absolutely.
You're never in New York.
Wait,
Yeah.
Mike, are you in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Okay, if you ever want to get to a Jumbo Shrimp game, let me know. My very close friend and college roommate is their broadcaster.
Cool.
I'll hook you up. All right.
Yeah, they're real popular here in Jax. Awesome.
Go Jumbo Shrimp. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Great. All right, Mike. Adios.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Question in the chat from One Hole: thoughts on synthetic loans coming into the U.S. banking sector? Are you referring to like the subprime auto loan market or something else? Because that's a very big, complicated question.
Who?
One Hole in the chat is asking about
Oh.
synthetic loans in banks. But while you clarify that for me, One Hole, let's talk about the gap this morning. It's gapping.
Hey, now here we go.
As Rachel pointed out, they have a new CEO. Has been on the job like 4 months, something like that. Honestly, their business is not that good. But the numbers, like the expectations were so low, the numbers like were okay. Their sales did decline year over year. Old Navy sales actually increased 1%. Bravo, Old Navy. But every other segment did not. Even so, because the EPS came in well above estimates, 59 cents versus 19 cents. A lot of that, again, due to some inventory and cost savings improvements. So, again, low expectations. And the report, came in above them. So I guess congrats. But
do they still own Banana Republic?
Yes, they do. They own Banana Republic, Old Navy, Athleta, and those are the big. I think that's it. I think those are the three brands.
My friend's grandmother used to call it banana basura. Basura in Spanish is garbage. So she used to call it banana basura because she says the clothing was made out of shit because it would always fall apart. I always stuck with me, banana basura. I always thought that
and they also kind of lowered their guidance for the year, which is funny, and that the stock is up, right? But hey,
can't imagine the bar was too high.
No, it was. Well, look at the chart. This thing is where it was over 20 years ago.
Can we talk about the one that doesn't suck? Can you go to Ross?
Yeah, Ross Stores.
Come on, look at this guy. Zoom out. Come on, this doesn't do that Ross Stores justice, that chart. Come on, Fonz, you're better than that.
Earnings beat, guidance raise after the bell yesterday. So that's generally what you want to see.
Is it?
Yeah, earnings beat, guidance raise. Raising your own guidance is a very good sign.
I thought I thought this one was up big yesterday. No.
Yeah. What is it up now? 7%? Is that doesn't?
You're not entertained?
Doesn't do it for you?
No, you're getting a breakout here. Is my point. Like that chart will look a lot better as soon as
can we get the new slide 2, please, just to give the folks some perspective on what a bull market looks like. How about that, huh?
Wrong ticker. Close.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Oh, I'm the worst.
That ain't it.
No, it is it. It's just a typo. Here.
Okay.
Reset it. Here. Go. Fixed. See that? So I asked my wife, this is how I do my fundamental analysis on retail. So TJX, I tell her, and she's like, she loves TJX. She's actually there now. Funny enough. Because she has, I guess, like a TJ credit card or something. So they let her in the store early today. It's like what a racket these people.
That's a thing.
It's a thing.
Dude, that's great American brand. It has to be a thing there because these stores, if you go at a normal time, like they're just packed. Like it's like a party in there.
Not the last time I went to one, but all right.
So she has private access. She has a backstage pass.
She has a backstage pass to TJ for like an hour and a half, like until I think like the store opens at 10. They let her in at 8:30 or some shit like that. It's crazy.
It's like,
so anyway.
Wow.
So then I ask her, and then I'm like, what about Ross? Because the chart looks the same as TJX, right? And she says that she doesn't go there, but people love it. Were her exact words.
I find that they're very similar. We have both here. They're right next to each other.
I've never been inside any one of them. I don't think I ever will. Why would I go to Ross? I don't even know where. I don't even think they have them by me.
No,
yeah, they're not. I don't think there's too many of them in the Northeast, JC.
Got it.
Yeah, I've never been in one either.
Even if there was one, but what would I go buy there? Like I don't like what is it? Like a clothing store?
Yes, that's what we're talking about here.
They have everything.
All stores is clothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They have everything.
All right.
Yeah, isn't it like Walmart? Doesn't Walmart sell like clothes and
Walmart really has everything.
Yeah, I thought Ross was like a poor man's Walmart.
No. Nobody, nothing is a poor man's Walmart.
Are you sure about that?
Walmart is poor man's Walmart.
They're doing something right.
All right.
What else we got?
What else? Oh, hey, let's talk about AMAT here. They had earnings last night, but we don't care about that. We care about the other news at AMAT. So, Strazza, we've been talking about these semiconductors, right? And the thing with China and you can't export. It's a whole thing, right? Well, what we haven't talked about is companies not abiding by these export bans, which is what Reuters reported. Applied Materials has done. They are under investigation for selling chips to China against the export ban rules. So that's where the stock was hit last night, down about 8% today. There you go.
Why is KLAC down in sympathy though?
Because maybe they're slinging to China too.
That's a good question.
Right?
KLAC. Wait, but isn't the whole sector down today? Right?
Not really.
No, sector's flat.
No, KLAC is selling for some reason also. Listen, that's interesting. Doesn't
KLAC is down 2%, dude.
Yeah, but still.
Well, yeah, that's more than SMH. So,
all right.
So yeah,
performing today.
So there's this whole export ban, and then there's like the fact that you have to like abide by that, otherwise you get in trouble, and that's what happened here with AMAT. So kind of interesting. They say they're cooperating, and they did nothing wrong. So we'll find out. I don't know.
Any other big news before we get to the old hot corner? Because that impinge 3.8 milli. Let's go.
Couple other things real fast. ChargePoint, disaster of an earnings report. This is a disaster of a company, frankly. I don't even know what their market cap is anymore. CHPT is a ticker. Not good at all.
What's not good about them?
The CFO is stepping down, effective immediately.
Strazza says that's never a good sign. Right? Strazza?
Oh, I'm sorry. And the CEO and the CFO are gone.
Probably also not a good sign. The CFO is the scary one because he sees things on the books. He's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Right?
Basically.
What company is this?
CHPT. This is ChargePoint. This is an electric car charging station.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Disaster stock of the day.
Did they not put out earnings? I have a feeling their earnings report did not get put out, if I had to guess.
No, they did. Wait, somebody didn't put out earnings the other day. Oh shoot, who was it?
A lot of times you'll see that. They'll hold the earnings report, and then you get a CFO departure. No, earnings coming up here on November.
No.
On December 1st, they got earnings coming up.
So it was a pre-report yesterday. Also usually a bad sign.
Is it?
But yeah, 9 times out of 10, a pre-report is like this is going to be bad. Let's just get out of the way now. But every so often it's good. So ChargePoint disaster of the day. We had BJ's Wholesale. They reported. I didn't see what the stock is doing. But speaking of retail, and do we have that that Hyundai chart? Because I saw this, I forget if I saw it yesterday or the day before.
Hyundai.
Yeah, because Hyundai struck a deal with Amazon. You're going to be able to buy Hyundais on Amazon now. So
that's cool.
They're coming for you, Carvana.
That's cool.
Sort of. Not really. Carvana does use cars. But
buying cars is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they're coming for you, dealerships. Watch out. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. There's
you want
chart.
the chart? You want the chart, the Hyundai chart?
That is
got it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not
really much.
That was basically what I had here as far as news goes. A couple other things, but nothing too interesting. I thought the Hyundai one was fun. Yeah, CarMax is down with this. So yeah, CarMax, Carvana, watch out, right? But this headline is why.
Can we talk
Okay,
about
let's,
these
moving-
impinge, please?
Carvana's moving lower on that news. I mean, they're selling one brand vehicles on Amazon. It's crazy. Amazon, anything they announce, other stocks go down.
yeah,
Can we talk about impinge, please?
yeah.
Run
Almost
the
$4
bumpy.
million.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
On the
yeah.
bumpy. Don't steal my thunder, sir. We got a lot to talk about in the hot corner, sir.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So hot right now.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about your impinge because we do have another
Not
big
my
buy.
impinge. It's not
You're-
my impinge. It's
Not my
it-
impinge.
It is our impinge. It is the impinge. It's their impinge. Throw up slide 2, please, Mr. Spencer.
It's Celebra Capital's impinge, according to the
It is $4 million worth. And who is Celebra Capital? Who are these guys? It's not the first purchase,
Oh, no,
obviously.
they're a hedge fund. They've been in this. They've been buying this. It's not
You like
bad.
this?
Yeah, it's fine. Tech stock.
You don't seem too entertained.
Because the best ones are making new highs, right? It's one thing.
Yeah, but this is a $2 billion company. So how many small cap tech stocks, are doing well? Like this is kind of like a sign of the time. Bottomed out last month, getting going now.
Did you see all those beautiful bases in speculative tech stocks that I dropped into the research channel yesterday?
There was a lot of bases.
A lot of nice bases out there.
Indeed. And a lot of these bases were getting going a year and a half ago. Like these are huge bases.
So JC, what I was doing yesterday? I was going back and I'm remaking all these charts for what we did in Pennsylvania. And I'm making them like clear as day, like we talked about drawing a simple reversal pattern or a simple top, right? Line chart. And I started to think to myself, have there ever been better bases? I mean, the bottom in the stock market, you could look at any of these indexes, any of these sector charts, they all look the same with these beautiful bases, a 200-day flattening, curling higher.
Look at the back half of the 1960s and 70s, man. These bases were the greatest bases in stock market history. Go back and look at those.
You got to go back that far, though. That's crazy because think about it. 2018, not really. 2016, you had that weird like shakeout retest. COVID was a V-shaped bottom. These are just like the perfect textbook rounding bottom reversals. My point is, well advertised start to a new bull market based on the technicals. No? Anyway, we got more to talk about. Let's do Matador Resources. Look, energy, I think, for a investment or a trade over our typical time frame, or looking out quarters, it's not ready.
Why
But
are you talking about Matador Resources? The CEO and chairman bought $100,000. What is he, broke? I don't want to own a stock where the CEO's broke.
this is one of the better looking E&P names. The explorers and producers have been hit pretty hard, right? It's the midstream and the downstream operators that are holding up far better. As like the MLPs, pretty resilient. The refiners, pretty resilient.
I don't want to own a stock where the CEO's broke. That's usually not a good sign.
Look, this one looks good. You got a level there is all I'm saying. I think patience pays in energy right now, though.
Agreed.
Bill.com. We used to use Bill.com.
We still do.
Yeah, we still do.
Yeah, Bill.com's great.
So this is an ugly chart.
Indeed. That's right.
Good product, bad stock chart. However,
how many of these can we name? Good product, bad stock chart, terrible product, great stock chart. Like how many times do we see that?
I know. So look, two directors out here, both known guys in Silicon Valley, private equity guys. One's a venture capital guy, former CEO of GoDaddy. The other one's like on the board of Fastly and some other Splunk, I think it was, right? Buying decent sized back-to-back days, two separate members of the board. What do you think? Think about like 1.5 million together. Buying this dip, buying this breakdown, really. You have those pre-COVID highs that are shown on the way far left side of the screen. I think that's the level, right? If you're going to get some sort of a scoop and score setup, that's where you would play it. But
I think if you go through every stock in the market and this is the one you decide to buy, maybe reevaluate your process, maybe, right? Is kind of how I look at it. Like, of all the opportunities out there, is this the
I
one
agree.
you want to buy? Probably not.
Let's talk about one we do want to buy. Let's give the people what they want here. Throw up the Coinbase line chart.
Here we go.
So, I had to look into something last night.
I love that you threw this. Is this like a not part of the hot corner, but kind of is?
This is total hot corner thing. So Fred Ersam, hope I'm not butchering his name, big buyer in massive size. If you remember, I think it was last year. So Coinbase is very much on our list. I looked at the cap table for this company. So beautiful base. We have some levels here, whether it's mid 80s or pivot highs around 110. You have levels, tested levels that you can enter at. Throw up the cap table. I think
Cap table.
if you own this stock, just know I don't think you could be in better company. So let's go through it from the top. Brian
Wait a
Armstrong,
minute. All right.
CEO and founder, has a lot of skin in the game, owns 21%, by far the largest shareholder. It's what you want, right? We talk about it all the time. Eddie Elfenbein was on here yesterday talking about the importance of good management or good leadership. This is a part of it. Own a bunch of your stock. That's what a good manager does. This guy believes in his company. I love it. Ersam right below him. That's the filing I was just talking about that got Coinbase on our hot corner list. He owns another 10%. And then you add up some of the greatest institutions in the U.S., Andreessen, Vanguard, BlackRock.
Vanguard owns
Wait a
everything.
minute.
Vanguard
now,
owns
Steve.
everything.
Come on now. Vanguard and BlackRock, they only use on behalf of clients.
Yeah, they own everything.
Oh, shit.
What don't
Is that
they
a
own?
bad thing?
No, but it's not good either. It doesn't matter.
No, yeah, it's not good. It's not a good thing either. It just is.
Doesn't
You're
matter.
so wrong. You're so wrong.
You're wrong. You're
No,
wrong.
Stocks that are in funds are constantly being bought because they're in.
I never thought I'd say this, but Spencer's right. Strazza.
Oh, you guys are idiots right now. Just 55% is either the co-founders or companies like Vanguard, ARK, BlackRock, Andreessen. And guess what? Vanguard, BlackRock, yes, own it for funds. Not Andreessen.
No.
Not Andreessen.
Well, they do also, but different.
Wait, hold on. So, Steve, are you saying the fact like Vanguard and BlackRock are merely representative of the fact that this stock is in powerful index funds?
Yeah.
Is that
Totally.
what you're saying?
Yes, and that matters. Go look at any of these big stocks. They want to be included in indexes. People are talking about Uber. Part of the reason a lot of people think Uber stock is rallying right now is because they're going to be added to some big indexes. Got to buy the stock.
All right.
when you get included in the
I mean,
index.
I understand that point.
Can't be a bad thing, is I guess what I'm saying. Anyway, if you own Coinbase's stock, you're in good company. It's not every day that you see company co-founders make up 30% of a cap table. You know that, JC. Come on. Give me something for that. The two co-founders, almost a third of the outstanding shares between the two of them.
So what you're saying is they haven't sold them all yet?
Actually, great point.
They haven't finished selling them yet?
Actually, great point, because you look at a lot of these stocks that IPO'd during the crazy, pandemic bull run, and everybody got out, right? There was so much insider selling in these names. That's why companies IPO typically.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, this is a great point. Companies do not IPO so that they could raise money to grow their company. These days, companies IPO so the investors can get liquid. And the retail investors who I guess aren't paying attention are left holding the bag.
They don't have to own this. They don't have to own any
It's
of
really
it.
a beautiful thing when you think about it.
I like it. That's all I got.
Speaking of CEO ownership, we got an email the other day about Asana. So I'm pulling up
Another big founder-owned stock. So
yeah, I'm trying to find what his ownership stake is right now, because he's spent he has spent over $1 billion $1 billion in the last 2 years buying his own company stock. $1 billion.
Well, Spencer, he's a billionaire. He was a co-founder of Facebook. So
I'm aware. I just it's a lot of money, man.
I was with a guy the other day. Who worked in product in Facebook, and we were just talking, and I just overheard him saying, "I am very, very rich. I am very rich."
Justin Moskovitz owns 57% of the outstanding shares in Asana.
That's a lot.
You trying to one up my Coinbase stat? Fine, that's a good one too.
I just think it's interesting.
I
think a lot of things are interesting.
I made the top 10 charts in the chart report.
All right. I guess that's a sign we're doing that now.
Hit it, baby.
All right. How far down do I
Great.
got to scroll?
All the way to the bottom.
All the way to the bottom. All right.
Yeah, save the best for last. You know?
All right. Here we go. I got it.
There it is. They tell you with a straight face that this has been a bear market because they think you're dumb. Good tweet.
You know, why do you have to be so mean when you make your point?
Mean to who? That is
Anyone?
why they tell people that it's a bear market, because they think they're dumb.
Who's
What do you
that?
mean? People who say that. Right? Like perma bears, journalists, economists, like, you know, the usual.
But they're not. Yeah. Okay.
What about
Chart of the day. How about that?
chart of the day? How about chart of the day? Which way does this resolve? Probably resolves down.
Why do you say that? Is it the
Because if
crude
it was
oil?
going to resolve up, it probably would have done so already, right?
I don't know. I think you want to be a little bit patient. Look at that uptrend off the COVID lows.
I'm not going to short it. I think it resolves lower probably. And then we rip in like February, March, you know, energy comes back.
How much are you thinking about interest rates when you say that?
I wasn't, but now that you mention it, yeah, probably happens simultaneously. You know, rates coming off, bonds catch a bid, stocks rally into the end of the year. And then late January, you start to see rates inching higher. People worried about inflation again. Energy starts to rally. Tech stocks get under pressure. That would make sense. You know?
Oh, Tony in the chat. We're going to have a whole big discussion about it, I believe, on Monday. Our very next show.
Tony wants to know, hey, boys, just tuning in. JC, Crypto Fridays. Can you tell me why the miners are lagging BTC? Do much. Hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope you have a good weekend. And it is all in the crypto report. I encourage you to download it, read it, and share with your friends. Spencer, you want to drop it one more time
I would drop the link in the chat.
bro, Tony the Tiger here?
This is a free report, Tony. So there's the link. Have fun. There's some weekend reading for
There's
you.
no free lunch in America. You're going to pay.
Oops. Sorry. Okay.
All right.
Hope that helps. Anyway, guys, you got charts?
I got some charts.
All right. By the way, if you want to get the chart report, which we look at most days on the show, it is free. It goes out daily. The link to that is down below in the description. Check it out. What do you got?
Throw up my IWC chart. It is
Ooh, micros.
IWC. Interesting. Let's see.
big level. Chart 4.
Round number?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like round numbers.
You want to see this thing back above 100. First test got rejected just the other day. Give it some time. Rallied nicely over the past few weeks. But you really want the micros back above 100. I think that gives you confirmation or supports a scenario where small caps are not just holding their range lows, but building out a base, right? And getting ready to emerge higher into a new uptrend. What do you think, TC?
I mean, I've been watching this 100 level since pre-COVID, as you drew here so nicely. It's a big level, huge. All that support over the last couple of years, no doubt. Maybe a little scoop and score. There's Strazza, a little scoop and score.
I think so. And I want to talk about some international stocks quick. Chart 5. They really held where they needed to. You know, look at the All Country World Index. Look at EFA. Look at any of these European indexes. They were printing these ugly tops, revisited lows from earlier in the year. And they're all rebounding off them. Emerging markets. So I just used the DAX as an example here. Have what looked like a top. Huge rebound back above the 200-day moving average. I think this eventually breaks out and we draw it very differently. I delete those red arcs off this chart, right?
Yeah, I think that happens too. I think you're going to see the old German DAX making new highs, new all-time highs probably pretty soon. And let's remember what's inside of the German DAX. You got half the exposure to technology, but you got twice the exposure to industrials. A lot of financials, obviously. But just understand what that looks like. It's very, very different than the United States.
You feel particularly good about industrials here, I feel like, right?
How can you not? They look great. One of the leaders in the earlier stages of a bull market, which is pretty classic, right? So we're what? We're almost a year and a half into this bull market. People still think it's a bear market. So from a sentiment standpoint, we're just getting going. Industrials haven't even broken out yet. Consolidating very nicely. They look great, man.
There are a lot of good-looking charts beneath the surface.
There are a lot of good-looking industrials charts. Why don't you throw? I mean, we've been talking about them right here, but why don't you throw up new slide 2 there, Spencer?
I was promised. Sorry, I'll keep going.
What were you promised?
I was promised that Germany was going to be the new center of commerce in Europe after Brexit, and everything was going to go over to Germany. Germany was going to enter a new regime.
Germany's awesome.
Well, anyway,
no center of commerce in Europe.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I was told, from London to Berlin. Anyway,
dude, Germany, man, dude, Munich, what a great place it is.
Never been,
dude. Munich is sick. Love it. So industrials. Does this look like a massive top, or does this look like multi-year accumulation there, Mr. Strazza? And your opinion?
I think it already was a top. You could draw this in a number of different ways. I think it was a top. Target hit. Retested the pre-COVID highs, right? Drawn there, double bottom there, and now it's a base. But it was a top.
Fibonacci doesn't work, Strazza. It's just voodoo. That's what they tell me. You know, I was on TV once. I was on TV once in a channel that I don't need to mention. I don't know if it exists anymore. But anyway, so I was on this channel, and I'm ready to go on. And the producer goes to me, JC, we don't use words like Fibonacci around here. So I don't know, probably within 30 seconds, I made sure to incorporate Fibonacci in my analysis. I don't even think I was going to talk about it. I think I was just doing it to be an asshole. And they never invited me back.
Really said that?
Yeah. We don't use words like Fibonacci around here. So I specifically said it just to, you know. I know.
Not
How about
cool. Not cool.
Well, maybe that's why they're journalists. We like making money over here.
What else you want to talk about?
I think
let's see.
I think that here's what I think, Strazza. I don't know if you heard, but I like to talk about things I'm thinking about.
What do you think about?
Don't think that people are zooming out enough. I've said this before, and I'm very observant to human behavior. I've been studying human behavior every day of my life for a couple decades now, and it's really, really hard for humans to take a step back, to take a deep breath, to zoom out and identify the directions of trends. It's amazing how difficult it is for humans. And for me, it's really kind of hard to believe because I get so much joy and happiness from, a good zoomed out session, whether it's the monthly charts at the end of the month or my weeklies on Saturday mornings, brings a lot of joy to my life. Like I have an extra pep in my step on Saturday mornings as I make my coffee, knowing I got a nice session. You know what I'm saying? So for me, who appreciates it so much, it's hard for me to believe how difficult it is for some of these other humans. Any thoughts?
Because we don't live. How do I say this without sounding like an asshole or making sense? We live in days, right? Like our life is just a series of days, right? And you can only
hours and weeks and months and years.
Sure, but we can't experience like 1 week at a time. We can experience a day at a time, but not a week or a month at a time or a year at a time, right? So that's why it is easy to sort of get locked in and place too much emphasis, and I'm as guilty of this as anyone, on one day, right? Because that's what just happened, and it's how we, it's the way time works, right? So,
Listen,
I don't know, just a thought.
Your brokerage account doesn't tell you how much money you made or lost at the end of the week.
That's also a great point.
Every damn day. And I think that's why people are looking at daily and intraday charts, because they're being
More than in the past, you think, or has it always been that way? And forget the charts. They're not even looking at charts, first of all.
I think more now than ever, for sure. Information is everywhere, right? You have access to your account on your phone, in the car, at work, everywhere you go, all day, every day.
Mark, we're going to be talking about this on Monday. Mark, Monday is our All-Star Charts Premium mid-month conference call. I am very excited for that. Members of All-Star Charts, make sure to register for Monday at 6 o'clock. And if you are not a member of All-Star Charts, your life has gone horribly wrong. I don't know why you are not. It's a good crew, right? Mark, tell them. It's a good crew to be a part of, right? We have a lot of fun. We like to make money around here. You know, that is why we are investors. In case people forgot, we invest to make money. We play to win the game.
You want to take
That's an all-timer right there.
An all-timer right there.
Oh yeah. You want to take?
You hear what Tua? They asked Tua if he's, what he thinks of that he's an MVP contention, and he goes, "Brother, I'm just trying to help my team win the Super Bowl." That's
he's gonna have to win a playoff game first. This guy can't win a big game. It's ridiculous. We'll say.
That's right. He won the national title game, the most important game of his entire life.
We're talking about pro football, the one that you get paid to
because in the SEC, then first of all, college athletes get paid for it, and Alabama is a pro football team for all intents and purposes.
College athletes don't get paid to play.
And they do
now.
They do now. And they always did. I don't know. You're UConn. A lot of paper bags going on. Come on, let's be serious.
Oh my God.
Come on. You don't think they got paper bags in Connecticut? Come on.
No comment. What's so funny?
How convenient.
Yeah, everyone's doing it.
All right, your guys' colleges. You have to win national championships for the NCAA to come after you for violations. You got to win something.
Well,
Michigan hasn't won. Michigan hasn't won shit. They're going after them all the time.
It's because Jim Harbaugh's a dick.
Is he?
Wait. What was the point being made? Going back now, I feel like we've lost the plot a little bit. What was the point?
Tua Tagovailoa can't win a big game. I guess we'll see when I'm in Las Vegas.
No. Before that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, how did we get there?
How do we get from there to here? I don't even know.
Because you play to win the game, Spencer. You
play
to win the game. You invest to make money.
Yeah,
that's it.
Right. Okay, that was it.
I want to buy things that I could sell at higher prices to somebody else.
This point looks like the Jets are going to win the AFC East.
I don't know.
The little quarterback that likes MILFs.
How about the Giants quarterback these days?
Which one?
Dude, everyone in Jersey loves the Giants quarterback.
He went to Don Bosco. He went to that high school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a Jersey boy playing for the Giants. An Italian kid from Jersey playing for the Giants is like a Cuban. It's like a Cuban quarterbacking the Dolphins, man.
No, you don't want a Cuban quarterback.
His family.
I'm saying that's the equivalent.
You definitely don't want a Cuban quarterback. You want a Cuban pitcher is what you're looking for. Hit the bumper, Spencer.
What is it? What, we're going to recess? All right,
let's go.
Early recess, huh?
I guess we can do recess. It doesn't.
We got
really
trades to put on.
It's Friday. We got stuff to do. Come on.
Huh. Stock Market Mike says he's straight out of Goodfellas. Actually, I think Tommy DeVito was the name of one of the members in the band Four Seasons that they detail his life, in Jersey Boys. Pretty sure. DeVito. Yeah. But it's like their family is getting more PR than Taylor Swift at this point.
In my neck of the woods, they are for sure.
You know what the number one name for dogs is this year? Is Kelsey.
Oh,
great.
The Taylor Swift effect is moving into dog names, dude. How about that? Fun fact. I want to just talk. We're closing out the week. We've given Morgan Housel a ton of props, obviously, over the last week. I finished his book. Excellent. Highly recommend. I was texting some of my friends yesterday that don't read books or know anything about the market, but have kids. And I recommended that. One of them, I think the kid's like 16 already, 16. And so I was like, have them read Psychology of Money and then have them read the other one. They're both good. So I'm recommending it to some normies, and we'll see what happens. See if
I don't know Morgan. I could have reached out, but since you know Morgan, do you want to get him on the show?
Yeah, we'll get him on.
Yeah,
all right. Might as well. We've been talking about him every day this week.
I know. I've never met him before,
but good reason. He's the man.
I'm a big fan. fan. So we'll have to have him on. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Steve, do you have any recess? Do I have any recess? I don't even know if I do.
I want to talk about second dinners. So I the other day I wasn't sure if I wanted pizza or burgers. So I said, let's just do both. So we did a 6 o'clock pizza dinner at Lombardi's. And I know Lombardi's can be touristy because it's the first pizza place in America, but and I was there with an Italian. His name is Joseph Angelini, a lot of vowels. And he takes the bite of the pizza and he goes, oh yeah, this is good, right? So it's not like just me. Another Italian guy, he's a quarter Puerto Rican, but he's mostly Italian. And he truly appreciated the slice. So Lombardi's, Rachel grew up close to Lombardi's, right, Rachel? It's legit. And then Corner Bistro never fails. Late night, good eats, a midnight burger, 11:30 burger, midweek after a couple of pops, Corner Bistro, highly recommend.
All right.
Yeah, highly recommend.
I am venturing into IKEA this weekend.
Get the cookies. Get the cookies.
No, really the meatballs is why I'm going. But in all seriousness, there are like some small things around the house that we need that we don't really want to pay up for. So we're going to IKEA.
Are you going to Elizabeth? Are you going to the one in Elizabeth?
It's the only one.
Is it? So then hold on. You're going tomorrow?
That's the plan.
So then go to Hoboken beforehand. You don't want to go to IKEA hungry. Go after. Go to Hoboken and go to Fiore's on
that's right.
on 5th and Adams.
But you said I have to go on like a Thursday or a Friday or something.
Thursday or Saturday.
Oh.
Thursday or Saturday. So tomorrow's Saturday, according to my calendar. You go to Fiore's, ask for Joe.
Ask for Joe. All right.
Ask for Joe or Tony, right?
Okay. I'm writing this down.
And then ask for Joe or Tony. Tell them JC sent you, right? Yeah. You're gonna pick your own bread.
Okay.
Right? Over on the right when you walk in.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get the roast beef, fresh mozzarella, and for the gravy, instead of having them pour the gravy, have them submarine it. Right? So have them just go full dip. Right? And then walk over to the park, 2 blocks east of Fiore's. Sit down there on the picnic table and have yourself a nice sandwich. Highly, highly recommend. And you want to know something? The octopus, very good there too. Ooh.
Okay. All right. That's I'll have to run it by the wife, but that sounds like a good plan. So
don't run it by her. Tell her, listen, honey, this is what we're gonna do. You tell her, explain to her what you're gonna do. You don't need to ask for permission. This is Fiore's. This is an institution.
Okay.
Did you just say submarine it?
Submarine.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to dip it. Everyone knows dipping is the pro move for sure.
Yeah, you got to dip it.
I'm all about the
whole thing.
You take the whole sandwich and then you dip it. And then this is your first time, so make sure you tell them it's your first time, so that you get some free cheese when it's your first time.
Tony or Joe?
Tony or Joe. JC sent me. He said I was going to get a little piece of fresh mutts because it's my first time. They got you.
All right. Wish me luck in IKEA and hanging out with Tony and Joe apparently. But let's see. It is Friday. We do have What the Fic at 12:30 with Ian Cully. Stay tuned for that right here on Stock Market TV, and that'll be a wrap on today's show. So thank you to Mike and to Louie and to all of you for hanging out with us. If you want to drop us a like, that'd be great. If you want to get our free crypto report, I dropped it in the chat several times. I'll put it in the description afterwards, but it's there. It's free. Go get it. Go download it. Go read it. Go enjoy it. All-Star Charts, conference call on Monday. The link to that is the link to sign up for All-Star Charts is in the description as well. And that's what I got for you guys.
Film Stock Market Mike wants you to film you ordering at Fiore's.
Oh man.
You want to get the whole sandwich.
I don't even know how to spell. I don't even know how to spell Fiore's. I'll figure it out.
FIORE''S. Fiore's. Look it up. It's been there for a zillion years. Just get in there. Fresh mozzarella, roast beef, extra gravy. See ya. And if you like roasted peppers, throw them in there too. It's not for me.
All right. See you guys. Go make some money. All right.
Adios.
Have fun building furniture this weekend.
Oh my god, it's gonna suck so bad. You don't even know. That's my weekend right there. All right. Bye.
Get a sandwich to go.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then I go